Yep. Ooh, good book. Oh, hi. That was a good book. Don't you love reading books? There's so many things and places you can imagine going to or taking part in. And I have a big stack here. Every story has something different going on. But you know what? We can make books too. So, like we do in the classroom, you really don't need much. You need some paper. You need something to write with, a marker or a pencil. I like to use a stapler to hold our pages together. But the most important thing, more important than paper and pencils, is an idea. And I bet you have lots of ideas for stories in your head. When we tell a story or read a story, usually there are 3 different parts to the story. The first part is the beginning. And the beginning sort of tells us who the story's about, where the story takes place, and things like that. So the beginning should tell us something about what's going to happen in the book. And after the beginning, then we have kind of like the action of the story. What's going to happen? Something happens, because if nothing happened in the story, it would not be very interesting, right? Sometimes there's a problem, and people work through, or the characters in the story work through how to figure out the problem. You know I love to fix problems. And then, after they've figured out the problem, we have the end. The fancy word for this is the denouement. And that sort of tells how everything is at the end. Hopefully, it's a happy ending. You know I love happy endings. So, all you would really need, besides that good idea and some paper and pencil, is you need to know how to put the book together. And it's really super simple. This is how I make the books for the classroom. I take 5 sheets of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first sheet is usually the front of the book. So that's where the title goes. And then we can do the beginning on the first page. And then we can have what happens, maybe the interesting situation or the problem. And the last page will be when everything, hopefully, is a happy ending. So let's count out 5 pieces of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You notice I have fancy purple paper here. Happens to be what I have at my house, is lots of purple paper. Now you can do it like this and use big sheets and have big papers. What I usually do at school is I give us a little smaller. So I might cut my paper in half. Joop, 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 joop. Hey! Now I can make 2 stories. And then I staple it at one side with my stapler. 1, 2, maybe I'll put one in the middle too. 1, 2, 3 staples. Now I am ready to start writing my book. I'll put the title here, and I like to write written and illustrated by. So I put my name if I made this book. And then I would turn the page and start. Now a good way to start, once upon a time, one day, once there was, and then that tells me where the start of the story. And it might tell me who the characters are, who the story is about. It might tell me where the story is. Once upon a time in the deep, dark forest, there lived a bear and a bunny. That's a good way to start a story. I know my story will be about bears and bunnies, and I know it'll be in the forest, and it gives me some ideas of what to draw on my picture. But sometimes you want to draw first, and then say, oh, that looks like the ocean, and my story is going to be about, whales. All right, so you can start with the picture or you can start with the story. And then you have your other pages to go to say what happens in the story. And the last page will say how the story ends. And you can get some grown-up at your house to write the words as you go, or you can try writing them yourselves. Let's see, forest. I could try writing that word myself because I listen to the sounds of the word. Forest. Okay? So you could even try and write all the words yourself too. Or you could have somebody, you could tell the words to somebody and they can write them down for you. So I hope this gives you some ideas, and I hope you have some paper and something to draw with and write with at your house. Scissors. I hope you have scissors at your house. If you don't have a stapler, you can use a tape or something like that to hold your book together. And I would love to see some of your stories. And maybe you could even make a little video of reading a story, just like I make my videos of reading a story to you. Wouldn't that be cool? And then I could put it on the blog, and we could all read your story, and that would be fantastic. Because I have a stack of books here, but someday I may run out of my books. And since I can't go to the library, I'll just have to write some stories. So, can't wait to see what you come up with. Okay, bye-bye.